up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Svenson, and today we're going to be talking about the price of Bitcoin. So it's been over a week since I made the last video, and that's because Bitcoin has, well, not really done very much at all. Just a lot of sideways action. But I do think that there is something interesting developing on the chart, and we're going to discuss what I'm seeing in the charts right now. But before we get started, definitely smash the like button and subscribe to this channel. If you're looking at the daily chart, we do have a set of lower highs and a set of higher lows. The price is consolidating, and it seems to be coiling up for a major move quite soon. And at the time of making this video, it does appear to me that we may have a move up coming, a breakout to the upside. Now, why do I think that? First of all, if we go back to the 3-day chart and you just pull up your MACD, we do now see a potential bullish cross on the 3-day MACD. And if you look in the past here, very rarely do we get to a point like this where the price doesn't see some upside. Even over here in 2021, when we got that bullish cross, we saw a pretty tremendous uptrend from that point. So these MACD crosses on the 3-day seem to be quite reliable, and it looks like we may be getting it just about now. And it looks like very soon we're going to confirm a bullish cross, though it is not confirmed just yet. Now, it's not just that. We also, if you go to the daily chart, something else that I spotted quite interesting is that Bitcoin may be sitting in a potential Adam and Eve double bottom reversal pattern. If you guys don't know, this is what an Adam and Eve pattern looks like. You get a sharp decline into a point, kind of like a V-shaped bounce, followed by a correction down to those lows and a more of a curved low point right there, an Adam and Eve, and then a breakout above that last major high there would be the confirmation. And if we look at Bitcoin right now, flipping back to Bitcoin, it does appear to very much be in that type of a pattern. Now, it is not a confirmed Adam and Eve until we get a break above this high right here. And that point right there, the confirmation of the Adam and Eve is coming in at 21,866 on the Coinbase chart. And so that is the final step here. We're pretty much finishing this pattern now, getting ready for that final phase to get a confirmation and a breakout. That is, of course, if the price is going to go up from here. And this pattern would suggest that we are likely bottoming here and looking for a bounce quite soon. And once again, that pattern right there does go right along with this 3-day potential bullish cross coming. Now, this video is really just discussing the bullish case right here for the short to medium term. So that's really what I'm going to focus on here. It's just the case that this plays out. What are the upside patterns that we're looking for? If you look at your downward sloping resistance line here for Bitcoin, we can see that we're kind of just like in this channel, this downward sloping channel. And the resistance has been pretty consistent. We come up to it, reject, come up to it, reject, come up to it, reject. And if we were going to come back to this resistance line, we would come up to this area right here. Now, also what we can do is hop over to the linear scale chart. And when you do that, the resistance line actually has more touch points. So this would be the more valid trend line. I always go with the trend line that has the most touch points. And so if we were going to follow this pattern of just retesting back to that trend line, we look where it comes in. It's coming in somewhere around the vicinity of 23 to 24K, right? That is around this range right here. Now, if we take our fibs from this high at 40, our last major swing high to swing low from 48.2K to 17.5K, we see that we do have a little bit of confluence with the 236 fib retrace right there, or the fib extension. So the 236 fib node is a potential target. And so what we can see now is that the downward sloping resistance is pretty close to this fib, right? It's quite close. And the average target, the general target zone, is about 24,000 if we were going to get an Adam and Eve breakout and a test up towards this 236 fib node. Or you could just potentially look for some rejection off of the downward sloping resistance. So those are a couple key zones to be looking at for upside targets for Bitcoin here. And so again, when you fib from 48.2 to 17.5, that's about 24,800. right? So you could also go from this high to this low right here, and the upper fib target is 23,882 at the 1618, which also shows some confluence with this up or downward sloping trend line. So it's in the vicinity of like 24K seems to be the target range, but of course it depends on how quickly we end up getting there. Could be a little bit less if we get there later. And I know a lot of people are, you know, probably gonna be like, you know, Kev, why are you talking about bullish stuff? It's bearish right now. Well, we've been going down for 8 months, guys. 8 months. 8 months straight down with like one rally in the middle on the weekly time scale. Seeing some kind of move up, you know, some kind of bear market relief rally would make sense. It would just make sense, and it wouldn't be all too surprising. Does it mean that we are at the final bottom? Does it mean that we can't go lower? No, we could go lower, right? You could always test lower later. I'm just looking at more of the short to medium term signals here pointing to some upside. And then if we go over here to the BLX, right, the long-term chart for Bitcoin. When you're in, this is the monthly chart, right? This is 2014 going into 2015. This is 2017 going into 2018. And this is 2021 going into 2022. And these downward sloping, the red line there on all these areas is our downward sloping bear market resistance line. And whenever you're at a low point like that, so like in this area, for instance, from the top, you know, we went down 86% from the top here in 2018, 83% roughly, right? From this top here so far, you know, we've gone down 75% almost, right? So we're in the vicinity of traditional pullbacks in bear markets. And whenever you're in that zone, that 75 to 85% dump zone, that is the area of maximum opportunity for the long term. So while things may seem bearish, I mean, ultimately long term, these prices are likely going to be good long-term opportunity zones, right? We're below that downward sloping trend line. So regardless, you know, if you're a long-term trader, it shouldn't matter too much, you know, what happens in the short term. These are great areas of value to be accumulating. Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the other top coins. You know, it's just right along that previous 2017 all-time high zone. So I want to mention that even if I'm talking about, you know, maybe a pump up or something like that, if you're looking at the long term, what do we usually see? Sideways. So we're likely going to be, even if we come up, you know, looking to go sideways in this range. So any pumps will likely get sold into. Maybe, you know, maybe we test lower later, but likely we're just going to be ranging in here until we get out of that downward sloping trend line. And getting out of this downward sloping trend line is, you know, the main signal. Historically, that is the main signal to end the bear trend, right? So you know, we got months to go, you know, crazy swings up and down, maybe a lower low, who knows? And then we're looking for this breakout signal to say that, you know, guys, the worst is over and we're looking for upside now, or at least more sideways before upside, right? So that is pretty much all I wanted to discuss today. So some interesting stuff there in the short term. Long term, the picture's really clear. Short term, we'll see what happens. It's always hard to predict, but this is an Adam and Eve pattern. And once again, if we get above that high right there, which is 21,866 on the Coinbase chart, that would be our confirmation of an Adam and Eve double bottom reversal. And maybe we'll see some higher prices, at least for the short to medium term. But that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all soon.